Hey everyone, and welcome to my garage today. This is the only place I could film in the house right now, so I'm sorry about the weird background, but I wanted to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I am absolutely floored that I even got to this number. I know that in the grand scheme of things, 100 is not, it's not a lot of subscribers to have on YouTube. But personally, I think it's crazy that 100 people thought that my content was good enough to click subscribe on. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm really excited to get better at reviewing books and make better content. So thank you, and I really appreciate your presence here on my channel. So I finished SENLIN Ascends earlier this week, and I enjoyed it so much. It was just a fun little read, and the book had been hyped up for so long for me, especially on Reddit and just word of mouth. I was kind of scared going into it, but I was really pleasantly surprised when the book actually lived up to the hype. The titular character of this book is SENLIN, and he, along with his wife, are on honeymoon to go see the legendary Tower of Babel, which is supposed to be this beautiful beacon of progress and the heart of all civilization. The idyllic version of the story only lasts about a chapter or two, because almost as soon as SENLIN and his wife Maria arrive, they end up getting separated and Maria gets lost. And in a crowd of literally thousands, if not millions of people, the chances of them reuniting are pretty slim. Despite the slim chances of SENLIN ever reuniting with his wife, he still ends up entering the Tower of Babel in an effort to find her. Right off the bat, I really appreciated how fast-paced this book was. Josiah Bancroft, the author, doesn't waste any time in trying to get the reader up to speed with everything they need to know immediately at the beginning of the novel, and instead he drops you in the middle of the action, and he uses flashback scenes from SENLIN's time as a teacher to inform the reader about the necessary context needed for what's going on in the main narrative. I especially thought these flashback scenes were done really well, and they're very unobtrusive to the overarching storyline. Part of the reason this book works so well is the fact that SENLIN is just a fantastic main character. In the beginning of the story, he's quite understandably a fish out of water. And his situation is so sympathetic, and you just feel so bad for the guy. But as the story progresses and SENLIN gathers his wits, he really comes into his own as a character. One of my favorite fantasy books is The Lies of Locke Lamora, and if you've read it, I think that Locke and SENLIN would get along so well. Either that or they'd be complete enemies. But they both have intelligence and leadership qualities about them that are just very engaging to read about. Though I have to say, SENLIN is slightly more lawfully good and more practical than Locke, but they gave me very similar vibes. And I absolutely love The Lies of Locke Lamora, which if you haven't read, you should check that out because it's fantastic. If there's one thing in this book that didn't work for me, it was the relationship between SENLIN and Maria. We get to see glimpses of it from flashbacks, and SENLIN is Maria's teacher when they first met, and I just finished reading My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, which is also about a teacher-student relationship. But in this case, the teacher-student relationship was very predatory, and just that book was so harrowing to read about. And so the fact that I had just read that really colored my experience of this book, because I was just like, ugh, no, I can't do teacher-student relationships right now. Like, that just doesn't work for me. And even though the portrayal in this is not necessarily predatory or problematic in any way, I just think that teacher-student relationships are inherently flawed, and just that aspect of the book didn't work for me, but I can understand that being kind of a personal thing. So since we don't spend that much time with Maria, she kind of comes off as a manic pixie dream girl who made this papery nerd teacher into a dashing adventurer. But I can also understand that this is only the first book in a series, so I imagine that Maria will get more character development in other installments. And so that wasn't a huge, that was just kind of a quibble I had with this book. But overall, I had so much fun reading this book, and as a first book to a series, I think it does a great job of setting the stakes and introducing us to this really mysterious world of the Tower of Babel. I really had no idea where the plot was going to go next, but I was fully invested in finding out. And so yeah, if you're looking for a fun fantasy read, SENLIN Ascends has definitely got my stamp of approval. And thank you so much for watching my book review, and again, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. If you like this book review and you would like to see more bookish content from me, please click subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.